Today we've got for the review a couple of the newest tracked ATV, which is called Dobrynya. And now we are going to make the toughest tests of them. Let's go! Hi guys, as usually it's me, just a voiceover, and you're watching Review Machines. If you have been watching our channel for some time, you might have noticed that about a year ago we already made a video about Dobrynya ATV, and that material turned out to be quite popular. That is why today we are going to show you the newest version of this ATV, and they differ greatly from the previous models. We'll review all the new stuff, and then we'll have an exciting trip with the toughest tests on our way. Firstly, let's look at the models that are available now. This ATV is Dobrynya Mini. It's the cheapest ATV with the front-mounted engine and rear drive. Dobrynya Safari. We see here rear-mounted engine and spacious boxes along the sides of the frame. Dobrynya Transporter. The newest model that can be used with some additional rigs. By the way, all the prices we will discuss at the end of the video. But most of all, we are interested today in these models. It's fully equipped new transporter and another newest model, which is called Dobrynya Bulat. These ATVs will go through the numerous tests today, but first of all, let's review these two models in detail. And I'd like to begin with the exterior. I think new design is more attractive. It even sometimes attracts attention of some weird persons like this one. This ATV is considered a light vehicle with front-mounted engine. The length is 2.8 meters, the width is 1.8 meters, the weight is 750 kilos. Let's look what we have under the hood. The engine is 2 cylinders 29 HP. It works with CVT transmission together with mechanical gearbox. There are no any chains in the drivetrain, only a drive shaft. The width of the track is 400 mm. These metal parts are both lugs and they keep the track on the wheels. This is a roller stretcher to adjust the track's tension. Besides, it sets the front angle of the tracks. And this is cut-off plate that allows to move faster on water. There is an anti-roll cage and tent. It's easy and quickly to unfold it. The dashboard is simple and practical. There are main gauges with lights. But the most interesting are these new seats with suspension. We may see how it works now. The seats can be adjusted. There is a fan on the hood. It can heat the cabin when there is a cold weather. Now let's get it started. There is an electric starter, but also there is a manual starter directly from the cabin. And another machine that will take part in our test today, Dobrynya Transporter. The engine is mounted in the middle of the body here. The length is 2.8 meters, the width is 1.8 meters, and the weight is 700 kilos. Again, we see here a roller stretcher. Unlike the previous model, there is a front door. It's quite comfortable to get in and get out, and when it's closed, it's waterproof. The engine divides the cabin into two parts. There is 2 cylinders engine 24 HP, and the whole transmission is the same like on a previous model. Due to the engine position, the vehicle is perfectly balanced, and it provides better off-roading capabilities. The front seats are also the same. At the rear, there are 2 benches for passengers. And again, let's get it started. Well guys, first of all I would like to make my personal test drive to get my impressions of the machines. Wait for it. Okay, that will do, let's go. As we've seen, this ATVs doesn't have any suspension system. That is why it's quite tough to drive them in cross-country. And they would have been so uncomfortable, but for one thing. The seats with the suspension definitely do a lot of good here. They really work. I wouldn't say the ATV becomes very comfortable, but it's not a torture to ride on them on rough ground. But the main advantage of this vehicle is certainly not a comfort. You'll see it soon. Let's move to the first hour test. And speaking about our route today, we tried to prepare all kinds of obstacles to test the ATVs in all possible conditions. And first of all, rough ground. You can't see it well, but the terrain here is really rough. It's a serious obstacle. Let's see how the vehicle goes through it. Well, the tracks do their job, don't they? Besides, we remember the huge metal lugs mounted on the tracks, so the traction is really perfect. And due to the front roller stretcher, it's much easier to climb the steepest hills. The next test is the descent swamp. There is a lot of grass on it and no open water, so there is some traction due to the grass. And the vehicle moves forward without any hesitation. While we are overcoming the swamp, I'd like to mention that these ATVs are serial-produced vehicles. But actually, the construction is the simplest, and it's quite easy to build a hammer-made machine based on the design of this ATV. You just need some tools to weld the body, a couple of old axles with differential, wheels and belt to make the tracks, few other parts, and the ATV is ready. Or you may buy a ready-made one, it's up to you. Then we found a huge old stump, and we decided to overcome it. The first try was a failure. Let's make another attempt. Nice, let's move on. This time we found more serious swamp, but the most interesting, it already had been frozen. I don't think the ice is thick enough to sustain the vehicle, but let's try. An effective start, isn't it? But then we got stuck in the ice trap. The ATV rests against the ice, but it can't proceed moving cause there is no traction. But then the tracks with metal lugs make their way through the ice, and the ATV escapes from the trap, slow and sure. By the way, many people ask why the CVT transmission is used here together with manual gearbox. The matter is that the gearbox performs here as a transfer case. It provides low range for the toughest conditions, but on the good roads the maximum speed is decent. It's about 60 km per hour. The front roller is great help when climbing from water on the ground. It provides a better contact, and together with metal lugs it's easier to leave water for ground. Meantime, our transporter also moves across the lake without a hitch. But when we were trying to overcome this huge fallen tree, we've got a problem. Nice try. But then we backed up and we're ready to proceed our trip. This time we have an open water here. Let's try how our vehicles can float. As we can see, due to the cut-off plates above the tracks, the ATV can move on water. Not very rapidly, but it moves. Certainly you can't move against the stream, but you will be able to cross a lake or any other pond with still water. Well, it floats without a problem, but what if we take on board the ATV maximum its loading capacity, 6 people? The total weight in this way is about half a ton. And it's definitely a dangerous test, so do not repeat it with your ATV. Anyway, we've got through it, and we managed to get back on the ground without help. It's almost dark outside, and it's high time for a crash test. While the ATV is trying to find out how durable the body is, let's speak about the prices. The cheapest model of ATV Dobrynya costs about $3,000. ATV Dobrynya Transporter that you've seen on our test today costs $4,000. And Dobrynya Bulat costs $5,300. Well guys, let's call it a day. Thanks for watching, please consider subscribing the channel if you like this video. Stay with us, it will be many more interesting materials here. Goodbye.